Good morning to all of you. Thank you, Saurabh. I will, for the next about 20 to 25 minutes, take you through the key findings of the study. As you know, the objective of the study this year was a little different from what has been done in the previous years by NASSCOM Foundation, in that we decided to look at the comprehensive contributions of the IT/ITES industry, both by virtue of their for-profit activities and activities under the CSR name. In terms of the methodology, we followed a very extensive secondary research and a primary survey. And in the primary survey, we met about 123 NASSCOM member companies, the profile of which, as you can see here, this was a stratified random sampling we used to ensure that the companies were chosen to fairly represent the A, B, C, and D category of the companies. And about 60% were really from the C and D categories. Before I really take you through the findings, I'll just take a few minutes to explain to you the framework that we have used to carry out this analysis. We have used what is called the spheres of influence framework. And if you move from the center, circle in the center to the circles outside, we're moving from the for-profit activities of the organizations to progressively towards the philanthropic activities. We are moving towards from a focus of the companies to the immediate concern areas, which is really to run their business efficiently, to focusing on community initiatives, and similarly the impact is also spreading from impacting the core primary stakeholders to the community at large. And if you look at the more central circle, that really is the direct economic impact, which any business, by virtue of the fact that it is making a profit, it will contribute to the economy in terms of the share of national GDP, employment generation, and foreign exchange earnings. The second circle, which is very interesting in the context of this industry, and it's actually partly as a result of the regular for-profit activities of the industry. But it's not something which you would expect necessarily from all industries. These are some of the effects which have impacted not just the IT sector, but also had a ripple effect on other sectors. And some of these were really things that Sarah was talking about earlier. By virtue of the industry being a pioneer of sorts in many areas, it's actually impacted the economic scenario in India and globally. And some of these are really spurring the growth of the middle class entrepreneurs, first generation entrepreneurs, boosting the image of India globally, improving the quality benchmarks that are now actually becoming a raised the bar for other industries also, being a front runner in good corporate governance. The third circle is quite interesting actually. As we were doing our study, one of the things we noticed as part of our survey is contrary to what we believe, the employees at the IT industries are not really, the graduates of the PhD software engineers. It actually employs a very, very diverse workforce, and it ranges from persons with, 10th class pass-outs to PhDs. It employs a large number of women, persons with disabilities, a large number of youth. It's responded by having innovative solutions to the shortage of manpower by coming up with having housewives, retired personnel. And we also found that one of the issues that the industry was grappling with was really the lack of, the shortage of the talent that they wanted to be able to sustain and manage the growth that they wanted. And rather than compromise either on the quality or slow down growth, the industry decided to respond by taking innovative solutions to actually improving the quality of the talent pool in the country. We'll discuss this in detail a little later. And the last circle is really the initiative which the industry is taking purely with the motive of contributing to society or the CSR initiatives. And these have covered education, health, environment, rural development, women and children, etc. Now very quickly, we sort of take you through each of these impacts. The direct economic impact for the industry which wasn't really there 20 years ago, the share of GDP had increased from 1.2% in 98 to 5.2% in the year 07. Foreign exchange earnings have gone up to $40 billion. A direct employment of 2 million is what is expected by the year 2008, which is a compounded annual growth rate of about 26% in the last decade. It's also been established now that for every one direct job that the IT industry creates, it creates about 4 indirect jobs. And these jobs are even very important and significant in the social context because these are people who are normally either school pass outs or even less qualified. And similarly, there is a multiplier effect on for every ₹1 spent by the IT industry, there is a ₹2 output of that in the economy. And to fuel the growth, the IT industry has progressively been moving out of the tier 1 metros to the tier 2 and tier 3 towns, which has resulted in a balanced growth in the country. And as I mentioned, about 15 to 20 years ago, it is unusual to see a first generation entrepreneur. They were typically sons and daughters of rich industrialists, well actually mostly sons of rich industrialists. And suddenly we found a large number of middle class and professionals who, armed with no capacity other than the intellect and a commitment, decided to take the plunge and start businesses and make history. And a far-reaching effect of this, as again Sarah mentioned, was that it created aspirations among the middle class who could see these people as role models, which was different from the earlier image of the entrepreneur. Now, when we look at the numbers, the industry believes that out of the 2,900 odd new units which have been registered as per the STPI, a very large number constitutes first-generation entrepreneurs. And another interesting trend again started by the IT industry was the practice of sharing the wealth with the employees and not just restricting it to the entrepreneur. And again, the growth of the VC activity was really as a result of the dot-com boom and the IT industry success in India. And this source of funding, while primarily was available to the IT industry, over the years it has shifted now, and other industry sectors such as health, entertainment, etc. are also being able to access these funds and therefore grow. Again, the fact that India has moved to it has an image now of a provider of the world's best technology services and professionals is as a result really of the IT industry. And our levels of quality, the fact that the IT industry had to cater to and compete with global industries really led them to maintain very high standards of quality. And these standards actually have now become a norm, not just within the industry, but also they have raised about the other industries as well. And this is borne out by the fact that 30% of the companies in the world who have reached level 5 XBRI are from India. And a very large percentage of Fortune 500 companies are sourcing their technology again from India, which proves that India has really arrived in the world as far as an image of provider of world-class services is concerned. The IT industry again partly shows the fact that many IT companies are listed on the US Stock Exchange and therefore have to adhere to stringent guidelines. The industry has been a front runner in practicing good corporate governance, and this again has created a positive pressure within and outside the country, outside the industry. Many governments have received national and international recognition for such initiatives.